Hey guys, today I'll be showing you my Lunalight deck of January of 2019, and we got new support for Lunalights in the new set of the Legendary Duelist line, which is Sister of Roses, which gives support for Lunalights, Super Dreadnoughts, Harpies, and Cyber Angels. So yeah, I got all the support stuff, and it's really great. So let's get into the deck, shall we? So first off, we're running 3 copies of Lunalight Calliope Chick. She is basically the one of your main monsters in this deck. Why is that? Because of her effect. Once per turn, you can send one Lunalight monster from your deck to your graveyard, deck or extra deck to the graveyard. Then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Polymerization from your graveyard to add it to your hand. She's pretty cool. I like her. It's pretty nice. 3 Luna, and next up we're running 3 Lunalight Black Sheep. Her effect reads that you can discard this card, add a Lunalight monster from your graveyard to your hand, or you can add a Polymerization from your deck to your hand, which is great because she can add easily your Polymerizations, fast search, or whatever you want to do, and you can volley really fast. Next up, we're running 3 Lunalight Tigers. Lunalight Tiger is a really cool card because once per turn you can try one Lunalight monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but its effects are negated. And at the end of the end phase, it gets destroyed. Now, one thing is that one of the new Lunalight monsters makes it you can bounce this card back to your hand and you can reactivate the effect. I've done this in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. It works. I don't know why, but it works because it's not a hard once per turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. It says once per turn, and yeah. So for the 2-ups, we're running 2 copies of Lunalight Wolf. She is your fusion summon. Basically, you can use her pendulum effect to fusion summon monsters from your graveyard by banishing them and special summoning a Lunalight monster from your extra deck to the field, which is great. I love this, and she's really cool, and I love that artwork of her. Next up, for the new support we're using 2 Lunalight yellow. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Martin. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know what kind of. Looks like a fox, looks like a ferret. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. But it's a really interesting card, and I like it. It reads, if this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can target one Lunalight you control, Lunalight card you control, bounce it back to your hand, and if you do, you can special summon this card in defense position, but it goes banished when it leaves the field. If this card's in your graveyard, you can add a Lunalight spell trap card from your deck to your hand, which is great because this adds the new Lunalight trap card, the Lunalight fusion, and obviously Lunalight perfume, which is awesome. Now for the 1-ups, we're running 1 Lunalight White Rabbit. Now this is another great Lunalight monster. When this card is normal summon, you can target one Lunalight monster in your graveyard, except Lunalight Rabbit, special summon it in defense position. Once per turn, you can target one spell or trap card your opponent controls, up to the number of Lunalight monsters you control, return them back to your hand, which is great. Next up, we're running 1 Lunalight Purple Butterfly, if I can situate here this. Now, it reads, you can send this card from your hand or the field to the graveyard. You then target one Lunalight monster you control. It gains 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. You can banish this card, target one Lunalight monster in your graveyard, special summon it onto the field, except for Lunalight Purple Butterfly. You can use this, actually not from the graveyard, from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Then we're running 1 Lunalight Crimson Fox. And this is another great card. If this card is in your graveyard by a card effect, you can target one. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Changes attack to 0 until the end of this turn. When this card is, when a card or effect is activated, that targets a Lunalight, quick effect, you can banish this card, negate that activity, and if you do, each player gains 1,000 life points. I don't care. I don't really like the 1,000 life points, but it's still good. You get a free negation. Next up, we're running 1 Lunalight Blue Cat. Yeah, I only run this one at 1, which is really odd because I've seen people run it at 3. Because of the new support of the Lunalights that came out, it makes it very not that actually good to run this at 3. Because right now, Chick is way better. Sorry, it's just way better. Just to send out Lunalights to the deck, to the graveyard, so you can do your fusions, so you can do your power, and which is great. And it reads, if this card is special summon, you can target one Lunalight monster you control except Lunalight Blue Cat. The attack becomes double of its original attack. At the end of this turn, you can only use this effects on Lunalight Cat once per turn. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle, you can special summon one Lunalight monster from your deck. And next up for the last Lunalight is one of the new ones, which is Lunalight Emerald Bird. Now, Emerald Bird is really cool, and it's kind of iffy as well, but it's still a good card. This is why I only have one for a reason. Because of the effect, it kind of sounds, because of the effect, but it's still a great card, and I love the artwork. I love the artwork. And it reads, if this card is normal summon or special summon, you can send one Lunalight card from your hand to the graveyard, and if you do, draw a card. Yeah, you give a free draw, but there's some things of this. Yeah, there's some things of this. You can only do this when it's normal or special summon, and you're not special. And if you run 3 of this, you're just gonna be depending on that draw. I've seen that before. And you're asking, where do you see that before? Myself, I'd run this at 3, and it didn't work for me at 3, so I lowered it to 1, and it does better because you can still recycle this card. That's the thing, you can recycle this card because the special summon is not once per turn or whatever. It just says if this card is special summon. Where was I? Oh yeah. If this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can target one level 4 or Lunalight monster, banish or in your graveyard, except that special summon in defense position, but their effects are negated. You can only use each of the effects once per turn. But wait, it's once per turn. Yeah, I know it's once per turn, but when you special summon, at least you've done a little bit of the special summon, so it activates. The non-Lunalight monster is one Blackwing Zerofs of the Elite. There's a little combo with this card that I found. And hand traps are relaxed, they're not expensive, they're 3 effect veilers. You can change these to Ash, Ogre, whatever. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, I used Ash because it's Ash, but whatever. I used Effect Veiler because it's the cheapest hand trap in the game right now, and this deck is really cheap, so I made it so so people don't spend a lot of money. That's the good thing about the Legendary Duelist. So basically, that's all the monsters that we have. I run 22 monsters. What 22 monsters? That's too many. Shut up. Just what? It's my. You can make your own version. So for the spells, we're running 3 Lunalight Lunalight Perfume. Basically your monster reborn for the Lunalights, and a great card that you can use this effect by banishing in, discard a card, and add a Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand. So basically that's the effect that you're gonna be using, so you can banish, you can send this guy from your hand to the graveyard, which is great, or any Lunalight monster that you want. So you can trigger this effect and special summon it, and you can bounce back Tiger back to your hand, or you Lunalight Wolf to your hand for basically a lot of plays. So yeah, 3 copies of Lunalight Perfume. 3 Fire Formation Tanky, because they're all Winged Beast. I mean, actually Beast Warriors, and you can add them, which is great. A great search card. Love that. Last of the 3, we're running 3 Call by the Graves because we don't want to see hand traps. Now for the power of the fusions. So we're running 2 of the new Lunalight Fusion. This card is super cool and really great. It has the normal, polymerization effect. You can special summon 1 fusion monster by, the above materials. But the other effect is really cool because check this out. If your opponent has more special summon monsters than you, you can send the fusion materials from your deck to the graveyard instead. Which is great because you can send any of your Lunalight monsters that you want, to the graveyard and activate their effects because their effects are in the graveyard, which is so great. And I love this card. I wish I had 3, but 2 is enough because of I wanted some synergy into the deck. Next up, obviously, we need the 2 polymerizations because to activate the effects of, you know, Lunalight Chick, Lunalight Black Sheep. That's why I run 2 Lunalight fusions, so we can put in the polymerization so that we can use their effects as well. Next up is 2 Twin Twisters and 2 Foolish Burials. Foolish Burials of Goods is to send any basically Lunalight Perfume, so you can activate the effects, which is great. And last but not least, we're running 1 Lunalight Serene Dance. This card is really fun, and this is one of the new new trap cards of the Lunalights, which is great. Now, this card is really cool. Now, check this out. When a fusion monster is fusion summoned, you can to the field, except during the damage phase, you can target one of those monsters, apply these effects in sequence. So meaning that you can activate one of these effects in sequence, whichever you want. So for the first one is you can special summon 1 Lunalight token, level 4 Beast Warrior monster. So meaning that you get a token, so you can do any link summons that you want, and it's a dark, which is great. I love this, and it has 2,000 of attack and 2,000 of defense, which is great. And then the other effect, that target gains attack for each of your opponent's monsters that he controls. So that's pretty great. 500, which is great. Then there's another effect during your main phase. You can banish this card. From your graveyard and send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. And if you do special on 1 Lunalight monster from your deck, which is great, you can send again, obviously him again. So you can activate its effect, then reactivate that, and you can do a lot of shenanigan plays with this. And this is such a great fun deck to play. That's pretty much it. That you're playing more monsters and spells and trap cards. So yeah, because the Lunalights are more synergetic in the graveyard than in the field, which is great. I love this deck, and yeah. Now for the extra deck. Now that's where is my wallet going to be that expensive? No, it's not going to be expensive. So, we're running 1 Wee Witch Apprentices because they're all dark monsters, except for Veiler, but still a great card to use overall. Next up, we're using Firefighting Damura Doll. This card is actually pretty good with Lunalights, and I never thought about that. I had this, and I was like, searching down, hey, is there a Warrior Beast generic link too? And I completely forgot about this guy. And this guy's really good. This card, and it reads, it needs just 2 Beast Warriors or Wind Beast monsters or Warrior Beast monsters, which is great. This card gains attack for each Beast Warrior and a Wing Beast monster on the field. Once per turn, you can destroy a card on the field and from your opponent and my side of the field. Then, if this monster attacks and destroys a monster, you can target 1 Beast Warrior, 1 Beast monster, 1 Wing Beast monster that is banished and added to the graveyard, or the graveyard and added to your hand, which is pretty cool. I completely forgot about this card, and I used it, and it works so well. 1 underclock taker because it's underclock. 1 Deco Talker. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, I was using Borosword, but you can swap this out for Deco Talker because it's Deco Talker. Now for the XCs. Now we're running 1 Ray Raptor 4-strict. Wait, what? 4-strict? What is this supposed to be? Here's why. Because we're running level 4s, a lot of level 4s. And there's a little play that I do, that I take out 4-strict. I activate 4-strict effects so I can get the Blackwing set of Elite. So you add it to the hand and activate effects of Perfume, activate effects that makes me discard him, and just use his effect overall, which is great. And you can use them as link material, which is great. And also activate any of the Lunalights effect because they were sent to the graveyard. Some of them, not all of them. Next up, one Tornado Dragon, so we get some destruction. You can change this for any other XC monster you want, but my preference is that you can use Tornado Dragon, or basically you can use Nightmare Phoenix in the link in one of your link monster for your link monsters, whichever you want. This is personal preference. I like the Tornado Dragon way better. One Babushka, because it's Babushka, I love him. And one Evil Swarm Nightmare. All your monsters are dark and they're level 4s, and it's pretty good because you can detach this. You can its effect reads when your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage phase. You can detach a material from this card and change that special summon position face down defense position, which is great because basically it's a Book of Moon and you're activating their effects as well. Now for the fusions, that's where the good things is. 2 Lunalight Cat Dancers. This is your main Lunalight fusion monster. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn during your main phase, you can tribute 1 Lunalight monster. For the rest of this turn, for the first time each monster your opponent controls are not destroyed, won't be destroyed by battle. This card can attack twice again the monster each time. This turn, if this card declares an attack, inflict 100 damage to your opponent. So basically, it's your main Lunalight monster. I used to bump this. I had this at 1, but I had these plays that I needed the second cat for reasons, so I run the second cat dancer. Sorry. Next up, we're running 2 Lunalight Panther Dancer. This one is that cannot be destroyed by card effects. It reads that the first time your opponent's monster will be destroyed by battle. It's not destroyed. If you do that, all monsters your opponent controls attack twice. If you do destroy your opponent's monster, this card gains 200. This card gains 200 for attack until the end of this battle phase, which is great. Then the other one, we're running 2 Lunalight Blade Leo Dancers. And this one reads, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Also, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase once per turn. At the end of the damage phase, if this card attacked the monster, you can destroy all special summon monsters your opponents control. And last but not least, the new fusion is Lunalight Saber Dancer. I love this card. I love this artwork. She's gorgeous. Look at that. And I know that the OCG, they have this at ultra rare, and I was a little bit disappointed that they lowered the rare, but still, she's really cool. And I love her darts. She requires 3 Lunalight monsters. Very simple fusion materials. It doesn't require for a Panther Dancer, for a Cat Dancer, and you don't need Leo Dancer, so you do Panther Dancer. You just need 3 Lunalight monsters. That's it. And she is really cool. It reads that gains for 200 for each Beast Warrior monster that is banished or in the graveyard, whichever. For each in the graveyard. It says in the graveyard, meaning that can be even your opponent's, if he has some. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects during your main phase, except this turn was sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target 1 fusion monster you control, gains 3,000 attack until the end of this turn, and you can use this effect once per turn. So yeah, if something happens to Cat Dancer and she's sent to the graveyard, you can banish her. Targeting any of your Lunalights, gains 3,000 of attack, and yeah. By the way, I kind of forgot sometimes these effects, but don't worry, I tried my best to say the effects. Sorry. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the deck. I hope you enjoy it, and it's fun. This deck is so much fun, and it really brings back Lunalights back to the picture in a way. And yeah, it's a fun deck. It's another RV deck that, I still collect all the RV decks that I can, when I have the time. And I'm glad that, that all the fusions of the Lunalights got reprinted. And yeah, that's pretty great. That's really great for them. So yeah. I'm glad, and I hope you guys had a great holidays and great New Year's Eve. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.